Mr. Akande joins us now, and quite a lot to ponder on. The Australian elections happened whilst, well, in the time that we had the last conversation till now, and I'm sure you must have been following keenly the fallout from the Australian elections. Any surprises, though?
Well, I mean, as to the outcome of the election itself, you know, I didn't see any serious surprises. I think it was very clear even before the election that Governor Adeleke is very popular with the people. You know, people find him relatable. You know, I think the magic of the dance is for real, because most of the time you have governors and ministers and who people don't feel connected to. If for anything, that is dancing and his happy, jolly mood has connected him to the people. And, you know, there are quite a lot of things that he has done, you know, that people can also see.
They only dance during campaigns, but he kept the dancing throughout.
Yeah. I think the dancing is his middle name, you know, and it's very good, you know, because, look, the most important thing in politics is that you can resonate with people, you know, and I think he does that very well.
Those that could not dance were jealous of him.
Well, we did see afterwards the fallout from, you know, from the elections. Just yesterday, we understand he went to collect his certificate of return, and some violence broke out. We had a conversation with a security expert during the week, and he was saying that, you know, Osun will still be monitored for at least another 2 years or thereabouts, you know, for the post-election fallout of it, because he still believes that the propensity to violence is still very much there as a result of the stage that was set before the elections. I do not know if it's an assessment that you agree with, but we saw that there was some attack on the governor's convoy. How much longer do you think we need to keep attention on Osun, given some of the comments that we have now heard? We heard the Minister of the FCT saying that, you know, if we could have taken it, if I were there, we would.
If I don't want that,
So then you also hear Mr. Fayose, you know, countering and saying, look, the people of Osun had their minds made up, and you know, it was just best to let them have their. But those kinds of comments, you know, it really does raise concerns about what exactly could happen in 2027, doesn't it?
It does, and I think it was Professor Chidi Odinkalu that was responding to what Minister Nyesom Wike has said, that if the federal government wanted to take it, if the president wanted to take it, he would have been there, and essentially to interpret what he was saying, you know, and he has the duty to tell us that is not what he meant, that he would have stolen the election. You know, and Odinkalu said that, why don't we just give these guys what they want? Banditocracy. You know, Wike and Fayose, they need to be schooled about what it means to have a democratic government. Look, so if it were to be a general or a dictator or some warlord that is speaking, what would they be saying differently from how Wike and Fayose are speaking? We are in a democracy. Should we aspire in a democracy for a situation where the federal government overrides the wishes of the people? What is the public use of such very, you know, uninspiring commentary to say that the federal government could have taken it if they wanted to? What does that do?
I think he means that if he was there, he would have been able to change the minds of the people. Not steal the votes, but change the mind of the people in that time.
Come on. You know, first of all, it's not even from that state. Which also goes to what President Goodluck Jonathan said over the weekend, that, look, this idea of having governors of the ruling party go and invade a state during the off-cycle election is wrong. And to his credit, he said that when it happened when he was president, he ordered those governors to leave. This idea of trying to impose upon the people is undemocratic, and showing all of us that it's about the might of the federal government. It is, I mean, do you imagine what the generals who were holding this country sway up until 1999, do you imagine what kind of fun they will be having if this is how our politicians, who are supposed to be elected by the people, if this is the rhetoric That we could have taken it if we wanted to. I mean, with due respect, please, let's ask these people, if you don't have anything better to say to inspire generation of Nigerians, can you just face the job that you are given, Mr. Wiki? And Mr. Fayoshe,
no,
why don't you go and get the job?
Just to say that the Fayoshe now is Isaac Fayoshe, not...
No, it's Peter Fayoshe. That's it.
From what I read here, it says... anyways.
On TVC.
Yes. Well, I think his brother also responded to that particular comment. That's Isaac Fayoshe, who says that his stomach rumbles. Look at the confidence with which he said if the president had wanted Osun, he would have been there. May God continue to save Nigeria from these kinds of people. So those it will seem some sort of balancing comment. But I think it now dovetails into this peace accord that was signed on Tuesday. First, we did not see all of the political actors there. Some people have tried to justify, why should we show up if the president did not show up? And some say, oh, well, the president sent a strong delegation, but it goes down to what sort of campaigns can we expect? I was just telling Kayla, it's day 2 or is it day 3 now?
She just got all the way to 150.
That's a long one.
We can have an issues-based campaign, given the sort of rhetoric we're already hearing in the aftermath of Osun.
And to add to that, because we are running out of time, I have issues with the peace accord, as do a lot of Nigerians, because the issue of accountability doesn't even exist. You gather people. So it's now a situation where, are we looking at just some kind of ceremony that we do that doesn't have any bearing on the people who are signing this? There's no accountability involved. Why are we doing this if there's no way to rein in people when their followers or themselves behave badly? What's the point?
I mean, look, because I've been inside, they don't take this peace accord seriously. Don't.
Why are we doing it?
So it's just a joke, and I think Shuwe was right. That is just a ritual. It's just a ritual. Nobody takes it serious. Let me tell you the things they don't take serious, and we all know. You will never see a presidential debate because they don't take it serious. I mean, Obasanjo started it in 1999 when he failed to attend the debate with Father Ibu. After he had agreed, he sat in his hotel in transport. Didn't come down.
Yes, I remember.
And since then, I don't think I think maybe Jonathan tried attending once or something, as sitting president. So all of these rituals, they are just rituals. Even in real life, rituals are supposed to mean something. But they don't take this thing serious. That is why they will say that the president sent a high power. The president had a responsibility
to be there,
to lead us, to say that these things are serious. This is about signaling. When the president says that, look, I am in office and I'm going to come out and make this commitment, that sends a democratic signal. So Atiku will say that, hey, it's not there, why do I have to go? It has been reduced.
Even the national chairman of the ADC, they sent a representative of the national chairman of the ADC, which means that it's beginning to whittle.
These people don't take Nigerians seriously, and I'm going to say this with my full chest. Most of our politicians, they do not take the people seriously. They don't. Please, let's stop pretending as if they do. They don't. But don't take people seriously.
But we should take ourselves seriously.
We should.
And if we do, what do you think we can do to impress it upon them to take us seriously?
Yes. Thank you. Those are the things that, in my own view, should be legislated. We should legislate presidential debates. We should compare them to come and do debate. We should compare them to sign the accord. That's the only language these folks understand. If you leave it within their discretion, let me assure you, having been inside and outside, they will never take it serious. You will not see them acting seriously until the only thing is that now you depend on the politicians to even make that happen. So we have to mount pressure on those who are in charge of lawmaking, that these are the things that has to be legislated, especially in the presidential debate. We're not going to have any presidential debate. You're not going to have, you're not going to see Atiku spar with Tinubu in a debate. Shouldn't we? So all these things, we're just doing rituals for ritual's sake, good symbolism, but what use when Tinubu is not there, Atiku is not there? Left only people like Showore and Obi, and the rest of them as if, they're just trying to, what does it mean? they don't take the people seriously. Come that day when they will take the people seriously.
You know, I was just going to say that maybe we shouldn't well, this was really not good. I mean, it certainly did not help the optics. We also understand that there are two opportunities for them to sign. The first one just happened on Tuesday. At the end of the campaign season, just before they go into the elections, there will be another signature. Maybe.
Mine will be different.
Sure of that.
So that means that there's use for this advocacy.
Yes.
That Mr. President and the other guys show us that you take us seriously. Show us that you take us seriously. Just give us that impression. Which, by the way, you know, I'd like to make this point, goes back to all the argument about what is happening with the subsidy removal and the impact of the governance. Nigerians don't mind the fact that things are tough. Nigerians are not really interested in the details of the financing. They want a government that is sensitive to their suffering. They want leaders that can show us that while Nigerians are tightening their own bed, you guys are not loosening yours. That is what is missing. That is what is missing. You know, I mean, people like Oyedele, very brilliant, and they will explain the issues very well. But what Oyedele cannot do, that the president ought to lead to show us, is that they are sensible, they are sensitive, that they too are with Nigerians in the struggle. It is useless to have my very good friend, the chairman of FRS, say that, the Nigerian president, he can't drive an Escalade. I'm sorry. He cannot, he shouldn't be doing it. He can afford it, the federal government can afford it, but this is not the right time to show affluence, to show opulence. No! We have over 130 million of our people, and we don't have to wait. We need to show them that while we are working at the top options for which they are suffering, we too, we are sensible. That is what is missing. And it's not just in this government. That is what has always been missing among our leaders. No empathy for the people.
A word, they say, is enough for the wise. Mr. Akande, it's an ongoing conversation. 150 days to continue to discuss this. We have to thank you for coming. Yes,
thank
indeed.
You so much.
Mr. Akande is the presenter of Channels Television's Inside Sources and also a former presidential aide. That's where we draw the curtains this beautiful Thursday morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Maokwe Okun Yusuf.
I took a new word away from Laolu today. Escalade. We have Business Morning. Business Morning at the top of the hour. I'm Kayla Magwa. See you soon.